Did you know that when you go to publish your book on Amazon or to change your categories through the Kindle Direct publishing dashboard, that the categories that Amazon shows you aren't actually Amazon categories? Those are actually called BISACs, and there are 3,935 BISAC categories, whereas Amazon actually has 16,000 plus Amazon categories. Huge difference, right? So this begs to ask the question, what exactly are BISACs? Why does Amazon use them, and how can we authors access the 16,000 plus categories instead of the measly 4,000 that everybody else does? Well, that's exactly what we're going to cover in today's video. But before we get there, if you would like to learn more about book marketing, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, as well as the little bell icon to the right so you get a notification when my next book marketing video comes out. And with that, let's begin. Alrighty, before we can get into Amazon categories, let's go ahead and talk about what BISACs are and why Amazon starts us off with them. To put it bluntly, BISAC categories are a universal-based category system created by the Book Industry Study Group. It's a series of categories that most libraries, bookstores, and online stores use as a universal classification system. The list of categories from this are the industry accepted standard of classifying a book, which is used by stores like Amazon, Barnes & Noble, mom and pop shops, and more. So with BISACs, when a publishing company creates a book, they can choose a BISAC category, and stores will immediately know what shelf to put it on and how to inventory it. Those stores can use their own knowledge of their own market and recategorize them, if they please. So why does Amazon start us off with their 4,000 BISAC categories when ultimately there's 16,000 Amazon categories out there? With BISACs, the industry norm is that big publishing companies choose through BISACs and disseminate the books to all the markets out there. And Amazon is pretty much abiding by that norm by initially offering BISACs upon publishing. However, upon selecting your BISAC category, Amazon then uses that information and other metadata to automatically put a book in an equivalent Amazon category. Sometimes Amazon has a category that is exactly like the BISAC, and sometimes it doesn't. Alright, so far we've covered what BISACs are and why Amazon uses them. Let's talk about why Amazon still has 16,000 plus Amazon categories. Why not just use the BISACs like just about every other store does and just be done with it? Well, that's because Amazon knows their market better than anyone else, and they know how to serve their customers. Amazon's own categories and their constant changes and additions were created based on Amazon's knowledge of how their shoppers shop. They see the rise in gas lamp book sales and quickly create a category for it even though BISACs don't have one. And since it's an online system, they see whether or not the new category helped shoppers find the gas lamp books they were looking for, or whether it deterred them from others. Basically, Amazon adapts and changes with the market, whereas BISACs not so much. So to recap, BISACs were made as a universal system to help books logistically catalog and enter into markets and stores. However, Amazon categories were developed to help Amazon shoppers shop better and find the books they are looking for. So why not just select from the BISACs and just let Amazon figure it out, right? Well, there's actually a couple of reasons why you shouldn't do that. Number one, there are just under 4,000 BISAC categories, while there are over 16,000 Amazon categories. That means that you're missing out on 12,000 potential categories. Which brings me to number two. If you're using BISACs for your categories only, then you're getting put into the same categories everyone else is. That makes these probably the most competitive categories possibly on Amazon. Number three, if you're just going after BISACs, you're at the mercy of Amazon to figure out which Amazon category that fits in. There are many cases where what Amazon put you in wasn't what you actually had in mind when you selected that BISAC category. And yes, there are definitely some weird ones in there. Alright, so now that we know how important Amazon categories can be and why you shouldn't just leave it up to selecting a BISAC and having Amazon automatically put you into something, let's go ahead and talk about how you can find the right categories for your book and the information you need to tell Amazon to change you from that original BISAC to something much better. The first method is either by finding a category someone is already a part of, clicking, and then manually creating a category string like this. The second method is using a software like Publisher Rocket, which already has the 16,000 plus Amazon categories inside of it. It also lays out the category strings so you don't have to manually build those. And it even tells you how many books that day you need to sell in order to be the new #1 bestseller, or at least in the top 25. That information alone can help you choose the best categories, as well as the most likely to help you to be the #1 bestseller. All of which will save you a lot of time and make your efforts much more effective. All right, so now that you have a list of categories and their category strings, and you're ready to be able to get your book changed to those, go ahead and access the video I have up here, which will give you the step-by-step system to getting Amazon to change your book's categories into anything you want. Another really cool thing about this process is that by using it, you can actually get your book added to a total of 10 categories instead of what everybody thinks is just 3. Pretty cool, right? Okay, so in this video, we discuss what BISACs are and that these are not Amazon categories. We also discuss how to change your Bisac selection to an Amazon category, as well as why you should definitely do that. So there you have it. No longer let Amazon willy-nilly put your book into any category, as well as fight with everybody else for the same 4,000 categories. Instead, ethically go through and find the right categories for your book, take control, and get them included in the ones that you want. Also, don't forget, in the descriptions below, I'll have a couple of links to other really important category videos, as well as articles to help get you into the right mode to be able to find the right ones. And if you would like to see more videos like that, be sure to hit that subscribe button as well as the little bell icon so that you get notification when the next Kindlepreneur video comes out. And with that, I'm Dave Chesson of Kindlepreneur, signing off. Cheers.